Welcome to Art with Mrs. PM. Today we are doing linear perspective. What you're going to need is paper, pencil, colored pencil, a ruler, and an eraser. Start by making your vanishing point. This is a dot right in the middle of your paper. Then use your ruler to draw a line from the vanishing point to the corner of the paper. These are your converging lines. From the center of the vanishing point, draw a horizontal line for your horizon line. You can already start to see the perspective that we're creating. Think about your composition. What converging guidelines will you need? Are you going to make buildings, trees, road, river, railroad tracks? Draw lines from the vanishing point to help support your composition. So I decided to start with my sidewalk. So I drew four lines from the vanishing point, 2 lines fairly close to each other to make my sidewalk. Now I'm using my ruler to draw horizontal lines for the sidewalk cracks. When working on the vertical plane, the up and down plane, those vertical lines that will make the edges of our building, make sure you line up your ruler with the side of the paper and do a line straight down. I'm adding more converging lines as I need to sketch my building, to know where the windows will go, to know where the door will go. Remember to sketch very softly. Push real lightly with your pencil. Another perspective trick. For the sides of the building, the sides that are facing us, draw a horizontal line to the overlapping building. Okay, I'm about to show you that again. I'm drawing a triangle for the front of the roof and a horizontal line straight to the side. Now, as we start to create more buildings, they get narrower and narrower as we move closer to that vanishing point. So that space between them, the front of the building, is going to get smaller and smaller. Now I'm going to the left side of my paper and I'm starting to make a tree line. So sometimes I get confused with the diagonal lines. So I like to just draw straight lines, getting smaller and smaller as I move closer to the vanishing point, closer and closer together. And then I'm going to add that organic shape of the tree trunk. Now the background. What do you want in the background? Do you want mountains? Do you want just a beautiful sky? Maybe the ocean? Whatever you would like to, just gently sketch what you're putting in the background. Think about your light source, your sun, your moon. Maybe it's behind us, maybe it's not on the page. And think about how that might affect the colors on the building based on where the light is coming from. I'm cleaning up my page by gently erasing those really dark pencil lines. I'm leaving them vaguely visible so that I can still see where to color in with my colored pencil, but I want to make sure that those pencil lines don't show through on my final product. So I'm just erasing very gently. Now this is my favorite part, coloring in the page. Use colored pencils or crayons to color in the page. Remember to follow the correct material list. So we're using crayons or colored pencil. We're not using marker, we're not using paint. Colored pencils and crayons will give a very different effect. Some different techniques that you can use is following those converging lines when you color. When you follow the converging lines, you emphasize that linear perspective, and it makes it look even more drastic as you follow those lines with your coloring strokes. And especially since we're using colored pencil, they're very light marks, so you can really see how you're drawing your lines. And that matters when you're planning out your composition, when you're planning out your whole artwork. Another technique I like to use when using colored pencil is layering. So you softly color one area and then you start to darken it, creating layers of colors. So we darken the color by layering the color again and again. So we create depth and value by layering the same color, darkening it, but you can also layer with different colors. When you layer with different colors, that creates some dimension. It lets the colors mix together and it creates a really pretty effect, especially in trees and organic shapes in nature, because it makes it look more natural. Because when you look at nature, it doesn't have just one solid color, it has a lot of different colors. And so that's what I'm doing with my trees is I'm layering a bunch of greens, I'm layering a bunch of browns, and I just like doing that because it feels really organic to me and how I see the trees, how I see the color, and it's really fun for me to layer those colors and create new colors by mixing the colored pencil colors. SCCA art guidelines. Remember to cover all that blank space with your awesome artwork. That means going up to the very edge of the paper. Oof, I am getting tired. My hand is cramping. Remember, take breaks whenever you need it. Your artwork will always be there for you to come back to. You may need to add more guidelines, more converging lines or horizontal lines as you start to color and realize, oh, I need some windows here. What do my windows need to look like? My door, what shape, what line does it need to follow? Remembering that all the lines are coming from the vanishing point, whether horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. Again, think about your light source. Where is the light coming from? If the light is coming from the top of the page, then the sides of the building are going to be darker than the front because they're not getting any light. Their shadow is in the side of the building. So think about your shadows, think about your highlight, think about where the sun would hit these buildings. So I'm using my black colored pencil to do a reflection on the windows. I'm also using my black colored pencil to outline the different shapes to make them stand out from each other. You don't have to do this, but I think it's a really nice effect to create some more shadows, to create a little bit more contrast and depth. Remember all the techniques of space. When creating mountains, when creating space, it's important to remember that lighter colors appear further away. So this closest mountain is going to be the darkest mountain. And then, following the rule of value in space, my mountains will get lighter and lighter as they move away from the viewer. I'm adding black as a shadow in the trees so that it stands out from the green of the background of those mountains. So that shadow creates a little bit of depth here in the trees. Now for the sky, the furthest background. Have fun, mix colors. Is it nighttime? Is it daytime? Is there the moon? Is it the sun? Is it sunset? Is it sunrise? Have fun mixing colors in the background, softly drawing them, softly coloring them, and then maybe add a little bit of that light reflection on your windows, maybe adding it into the water. There's so much you can do with the light and the reflection. I'm adding my final touches, a little bit more color, a little bit more highlight, a little bit more outline and shadow. And there we have it, our linear perspective artwork.